Gordon Scott Bain called up for the first time. What was the thinking behind that?
Bit of my thinking, but mostly Jim Stewart's thinking. We've obviously, Alan's got a problem, Alan McGregor's got a problem, which we've known for about a year. He's been carrying an injury and he's been playing with an injury for about a year for his club. And I think he wants, I think the club and himself, but especially himself, need time for that to calm down. And he's been brilliant for us, so we can only respect his decision that he needs to get sorted out this injury. And it'll be a benefit for Hull and it'll be a benefit for us in the long term. So young Scott's got to come in, and he's been playing well this year. Jim's been impressed with him, Jim Stewart, the goalkeeping coach, and he believes he's a player for the future, but not only the future, it's now. He's come along here and he'll be working with two excellent goalkeepers, and that'll benefit him, and the enthusiasm of Scott, I'm sure, will benefit the other two goalkeepers.
Does it show the strength and depth you have in that position?
The three that we've had have been brilliant, and made my life hard at times, that's for sure. And also Jelksy backed him up nicely. So then there's Jelksy had a problem. He's got something that needs to be dealt with as well. So then we have to look about, and Scott seems to be which we think is the best choice just now.
Recalls for the likes of Charlie Adam, again, who've been impressed with him recently.
Seen Charlie recently. We've all seen his goal from the wonder goal, but there's more to it than that. You know, there's been a consistency of Charlie's performances, and he's found a position in Stoke that suits him, and that suits Stoke the way they're playing at the moment. So it's been a good 2 months for Charlie, that's for sure.
Charlie Mulgrew's been an integral part of your squads, and how good is it to get him back in, and how fit is he just now, or will an extra game or an extra couple of games help before Dublin? Yeah,
that's why this game against Qatar would be great. We need extra games for people like Charlie, and the lads who like Matt Ritchie in Bournemouth, who stopped about May the 3rd, I think it was. So it's imperative they get games, but the training will involve a lot of games. I think our training, usually it's something else. It's movement and shape, and I think to bring the boys up to speed, we'll have to do more contact training to bring them up to speed with games.
No concern though if you have to throw him in, he's in the squad, and I guess it's a big bonus having Charlie back.
Well, he's back at the Celtic side, and I don't think they'd put him in if he wasn't right, especially this time of the year. I think they'll try to give him a couple of games, and I'm sure they'll be hoping that we're going to play him as well, so he gets games in. And Charlie was a huge asset for us when we played the Republic last time. I mean, huge. I thought he had a terrific game, and having Charlie in the squad, just looking at it, makes us stronger. Not only midfield, but other positions makes us stronger.
What about Lee Griffiths? He's hitting form at the right time, it seems.
Yes, some players can do that, yeah. And he'll be fresh because he didn't play too many games at the beginning of the season, a lot of substitutes. So he'll be fresh. You have to take that in consideration at this time of year. Who's fresh, who needs games. You know, we're not a squad that everybody's playing up until the games, you know. We're not playing in Champions League finals, Europe finals, FA Cup finals, big games like that. You know, a lot of the squad have had a break. But the ones who are playing, there'll be ones playing the playoffs now, like the Norwich guys and things like that. We have to take that into consideration. Just
finally from me, what in terms of this game at Easter Road against Qatar, it seems as if they're a bit of an unknown quantity. Will that help? Does that give a bit of freshness for an end of season game or preparing for? I
think it'll be good for everybody. I've seen them on video a couple of times, not seen them live, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the weather's a wee bit better than it is today, so we're going to get a good crowd. It's a great chance for the youngsters in this area and people who can't get across to maybe Hampden or Ibrox or Celtic Park in the last year to see the team playing. It'd be a good opportunity for them to come along with their kids, families to see this game, and. But the most important thing for us is we're glad that Qatar have agreed to play us because we need games, you know, at this time of year for certain players. I'll have hopefully have a full squad to choose from as well, which will be good. I didn't expect it to be a full squad because I asked some of the players if they needed a rest and everyone said no.
Gordon, your squads have tended throughout your tenure to be very settled. And in fact, your teams have as well. So guys like Lee Griffiths coming in, even Charlie Adam coming back in, have they got a genuine chance of playing in the competitive fixture? Obviously, the friendly, you're able to.
Oh, I think if you remember back to when Barry Bannon 2 years ago was on holidays and we called him in, and his training said to us he needs to play, and he played against Croatia. I think we set the precedent that day, because players can impress at training. There's absolutely no doubt. But and Charlie and Lee, they've been here before. They've had games before, and if I felt that they didn't have a genuine chance of playing, I would have brought in some younger guys just to fill spaces. They've forced us away in the squad. You're right. It's consistent. The squad doesn't change much. That's because the players that have played and been involved in the squad make sure they're picked the next again time. They decide if I'm going to pick them with their attitude. It's not only the ones who play, it's the ones who don't play. They all seem to get on well together, and they all want each other to win. And that's all I ask for anybody who joins the squad, that you come in the squad and you make sure that the squad's bigger than you. That's the only thing we ask.
These announcements always throw up, why is this guy in, why is this guy not in, not only amongst ourselves, but and one of your favourite forums, social media. But do you feel it necessary to go to guys who some people might like, let's say like Stuart Armstrong, Gary Mackay-Steven, who are having good seasons, to explain why they're not in yet, or do you just concentrate on the people who you are picking?
No, what I do, if there's people being in the squads and being left out, and I explain to them why we're trying this, simple. Because I think not only if I could make if there could be about 15 players could make a case for that, and I don't think that's right, because it can be problems sometimes. You go and explain to a player, then he feels down about that, and it can affect him. So we get on with it. We know these players are out there. And it's great that people suggest other players, but what the people like yourself do not know, and the media people, and even other managers, my way of approaching the game of football, my style of football, and what is best for this squad. So you might say, with another manager, these players might be in. With another style, these players might be in. But for the style that suits us, which we've been working on for 2 years, then they have to adapt to that.
Clearly your priority here is preparing for what's an absolutely massive game against the Republic. However, it would be wrong not to ask you about the ethical question of playing in Qatar, where there's evidence of human rights violations across there, and even today I think we're hearing about journalists being arrested. Does that come into your thinking at all, that the ethics of playing a specific country?
I have times where I think about politics, and this is definitely not one of them. I have times when I sit down and moan at the telly on politics. I've had a month of moaning about politics, me and my wife sitting in front of the telly moaning and groaning at everybody. But this is definitely not. This is time to say, listen, we're going to have a good game of football here. We've got an opportunity to bring people who have never been to international games before. It's right in your door. Come along. It's an opportunity for people not to see the Scotland team that's did so well in the last year. They see them live. We hope to continue that our performance level. That's the most important thing. And this is not a time for me to get. There's other people more qualified with more information to talk about politics. But mine's is football, and mine's is. I'm just appreciative that Qatar want to come and play us, because we've got to play Northern Ireland as well. So we're cramming games in.
Gordon, how do you manage players in this squad who will go into these two fixtures having not played a game of football for over a month?
Well, sometimes you could say, well, Charlie McGrew's been injured for more than that. It's like 5 months. But you can, like Charlie, you can, enthusiasm and adrenaline can keep you going for the first month you're back. We're hoping that with Charlie. But the standard of fitness now with top players, I think we need to top it up a wee bit when they get here. We'll need to find out how fit they are. We'll have a look at that. not only through tests, but through with games as well. We'll put my game condition, because a fitness test is completely different from a game condition. Then we'll look at that. That's why it's, I think when you're talking about players maybe not being in the squad, I think I'm looking at players who are playing, still playing just now. You know, it shortens the gap between when they finish playing and when we play.
In these days of sports science, and we hear that rest is so crucial, and perhaps increasingly so, could it almost be a benefit to some of these players that they've had quite a bit of time off going into these games?
Yeah, but I think, as I said before, I think I've asked, my initial thought was maybe 2 squads, one meeting in June the 2nd and one the 8th, and then we'd all be together for the Republic game. But I've asked the experienced players, and once you've stopped playing, do you need extra time off? And everyone went, no, I'm going to be here in June the 2nd, which has kind of thrown me a bit. I thought we'd have about 18 players, but I'm going to have 26. So my thoughts were about 18, 20 players, but I'm going to have the 26 because nobody wanted an extra couple of days off.
That says something about the enthusiasm the boys have got for the team and for the journey that you're on.
But their own standards are set as well. I think these guys, they'll keep their. I mean, we can't say to maybe Mark Ritchie, you're going away from me, do this, do that. It's up to the club and themselves to decide what they need. And it's up to him what he needs. But what he'll be coming with, Matt, is great enthusiasm and great confidence after the season he's had.
Will Stuart McCall have any involvement in the management side for these games?
Stuart, I think we said that when Stuart took over at Rangers, we're still the same when I spoke to Stuart about last week, that near the end of May we'd have an idea, his situation, our situation, and we'll get together and talk about that then.
He's going to be managing here on Saturday. What's your thoughts on the playoffs, Gordon?
This is where I become political. I wish everybody all the best.
Is this where the playoffs work, though, in terms of it seems as if it's going to be a lot of tension and drama?
Well, I watched the game on TV yesterday, and from a product point of view, as a punter watching the telly outside Scotland, I thought it was a good product. I thought the atmosphere was good. The arena which played in was fantastic, and I thought that the 2 sets of players gave us something that you didn't wander and wait and make too many cups of tea. It kind of grabs your attention.
How much are you looking forward to managing the home team at Easter Road?
Be great. This is where my football started, really, and my granny just lived over the back of that stand there, and most of my family live in the Leith area, and so it's quite emotional, really. This is the first place my dad took me to a football game, and I took him to his last game of football here. Yeah, it's been a big part of our life, and just seeing some of the pictures around here, some of my heroes, so it does bring back a lot of memories. It's changed a bit, obviously, but it's still, the walk is still the same coming here, although I get driven here now. It's a bit of a difference from the number 16 bus. Yeah, it'll be good. It's good that we're in the home.
You have to carefully think about your team selection for the first game with the second game in mind. You want guys to get games, but you don't want to take any risks ahead of Dublin.
I think there's risks in training. If you see the intensity of our training, there is risks here as well, and that happens. You just have to deal with that. But I'm trying to get, as I said, I'm trying to give the players who have that bigger gap more time on the field.
Gordon, there's been a lot of talk about discussion recently about how to improve Scottish football. We're going to summer football or synthetic surfaces, and in your mind, how do we improve the game?
Oh, it's too long to sit here and talk about that. Listen, you need a documentary about that, and I've just not got the time to talk about that just now. But it's a great subject to mind. It's a great talking point for everybody else. But this is what I'm here for just now. And I can understand your question, but I'm quite happy to talk about Scotland just now at this moment in time. We've got plenty of time when Brian McClare comes in to talk about the future and whatever happens in football.